Look, and he's like chilling, drinking tea. What the day to start, right?
What's happening, everybody?
If you all of you don't know, you probably guess who is this person.
Sean Bernard,
Who are you?
Home Inspector, Bernard's Inspection Services.
Wow. So I want you guys to know that last year, Charles and I helped about what 60 something buyers, and we have prefer home inspector, and we love using Bernard inspection because he know what he's doing and he is really good at what he does. So Charles, do you want to talk about how why we use him?
Like Nas said, we being in that high production, we need very efficient and very experienced home inspector that not only knows and understands the importance of inspection, he understands the needs of our client, and also he knows that most of the client that doesn't understand what happened when it comes to buying and selling of houses. You already know, as first time home buyers, they're very sensitive and very nervous. They don't know their left and right. They need all the knowledge and all the experience and all the advice they can get from professionals like ourselves. So we choose Bernard because not only does he know his inspection, he knows how to explain, especially things that are very, very critical in the house to the buyers for them to know that, okay, this is something you need to look out for. Let's say, for example, like some missing shingles. Some buyers will freak out and think, okay, when the shingles are missing, that means the roof will be leaking and the whole house will be damaged. But it might be just minor little things that just need to change few things. You don't have to change the whole roof. He goes far beyond, and even he makes video on his inspection to explain to you, not only by writing, because sometimes you see those pictures, you see those words, you don't know what the hell they're talking about. But when you hear his video, you will remember what he had explained to you, what that was. So that's one of the things I really like about him.
What I like about Sean Bernard is when my client has some issue, when we see the report, and if we have any question, I can call him, even though at his busy time, he will make sure he answer my phone and give me like the answer of the question, because sometimes, let's be honest, I don't know how to fix things, and my client sometimes doesn't know too. Most of them are first time home buyer. Any little thing they get scared. So when we got Bernard on the phone, he usually give us a sense of confidence and know that even though there's something that go wrong, it still can be fixable. And he like sometimes he give us some code, the price that average how much it's gonna cost to fix certain problem. So let's go ahead and hear from the pro what is all about home inspection, why you are so good at what you do. So Sean, now your turn.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for using Bernard's Inspections.
You're welcome.
I mean, I can say that, you guys has really helped Bernard's Inspections grow to what it is. I just must say, when I first got in the industry, you guys gave me a chance, and you told me what you expected, and I just wanted to meet those expectations. So, and that's why we've been working, these years going forward so well. One thing I've learned about the home inspection business is that, there's a lot of great home inspectors out there. There's a lot that's knowledgeable about the business, a lot that can identify things and help clients out there. But the biggest gap that I find listening to clients is the communication. A lot of inspectors, they communicate things where it makes it scary, or it makes it seem like the problems are real huge when it's probably something that could be really small and easy to be fixed. So I wanted to be strong in that gap and say, you know what, I want to bridge that gap. Where a lot of inspectors are lacking with communication, I want to step in and be that communicator to just let people know that it's okay. It's already stressful buying a house. That's probably the most stressful deal you're gonna have in your life. So I want to make it where it's comical, where it's fun. So I try to make it humorous doing inspections, and let the clients know that, you know what, every problem can be fixed, whether it's termites, whether there's a leaky roof, you know, regardless of what it is. If there's bracing inside the attic that's subpar that needs to be doctored up on, everything can be repaired and can be fixed. And we just point out what's the most important things, the things that's $200 or more. I like to focus on $200 or more is what we want to really focus on in negotiation. A lot of the small little things and stuff that we could do as we go, you know, and it saves a lot of time in the negotiation phase of those contracts, you know. Another thing is your delivery. You know, you want that your client to be happy. I find that a lot of clients, when you make them laugh and they're happy, they open up, and then they're really able to express when they don't understand something. Yeah. Because I find when you explain to clients something, sometimes they don't understand. So you need to walk with them, point it out to them, let them put their hands on it. When you put your hands on something, you can identify what it is at that point, and it's easier for you to remember what's wrong. You know, so a lot of times y'all see me walking outside with the client, pointing at things, showing them, because I believe in that inspection should be educational. Yeah. People that never seen what certain type of plumbing pipes is and or how to maintenance certain things, and I think that's why Bernard's has been so successful, because you know we go a step above with our customer satisfaction and communication, just to educate our clients.
Sure, I remember, I think 12 years ago, I bought a rental properties, and the home inspector went underneath and he saw there's some water. It's like a hole, and you know the way he told me is like, in a couple of years this house gonna collapse. And then that house have been right there for like 50 years. Okay, that's hole right there, and I own it for 12 years now, and there's nothing wrong with that house, with that small pile. But the way he told me, he told me it's gonna be the end of the world, like tomorrow, that house gonna collapse. And 12 years later, that house still standing. So what do you think about how, I know if someone did not choose you, they're not as fortunate that they don't have a real estate agent like Charles and I to pick the best home inspector that not only do a good job, but also give them the education, the knowledge in a way that don't freak the first time home buyer out. So let's say if they're not fortunate to have you as a home inspector, what would you recommend to those buyers when they get all these bad news that, I mean, like anything could be falling apart? Like if I did not choose to buy, I was scared, but I moved forward anyway to buy that house. But it was very scary the way he, communicate to me. But if I listen to him and get the fear, which a lot of home buyers, like most of our transactions fall through at the home inspection because the buyers get scared. And this is very typical and normal. Okay, so Bernard, what would you give the buyers advice when they hear some really bad news when the home inspection report come in?
It's always good to get a second opinion. You can get a second opinion. I have a lot of people that'll call me, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't use you as an inspector, but I want to run something by you. If you think this is a bad situation, then I'll listen. And it's not about me trying to overstep another inspector. I just want to give them confidence in knowing, okay, well, yeah, this is a problem, but it don't have to be fixed right now.
Yeah.
It's something that you could target once the house closed. Or I can say, you know what, yeah, this is something that may need to be fixed right now, but, and give them advice on it to give them more of a peace of mind. Because I get calls all the time from people that may have used another inspector, but they get the report, they don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I'm not supposed to read another inspector's report. So I said, I can't read the report, but you can, tell me about the verbiage, and I can kind of lead you on, let you know what it is. But it's always good to be able to trust your real estate professional. Go with a real estate professional who's been in the industry a while, that's been through a lot of inspections, because you, from doing inspections with us, you can identify if something is major or not. Exactly. You've been in it long enough to know, okay, well, yeah, that's not a big issue. So sometimes you have to trust your real estate advisor, sometimes over your inspector in certain situations, because there's a lot of new inspectors that's coming into this business that doesn't have construction knowledge. See, you can have an inspector, but then you can have somebody who has construction knowledge, and that's different. It's way different, because I've seen it happen where a new inspector say, oh, this is a problem. And then you ask that same inspector, well, okay, is it structurally sound? I don't know. I don't know. I've asked some inspectors already. Okay, you said this was a problem, right? Tell me if it's structurally sound. I can't say that. I don't know. So how can you say something's a problem if you don't know if it's structurally sound? See, just because you have termite damage, and I'll use termites for an example. I'll go under house and see termite damage. Okay, the insurance company will call. Okay, we've seen termite damage. Is it structurally sound? Yes, it's still structurally sound. Okay, it's just face damage. It's just cosmetic damage. It's nothing that's a structural problem. So guess what? All we gotta do is treat it and move on. So that problem of termites that they said it was bad, that it's a bad house. No, every home gets termites.
Okay.
The thing is, not all termites stay at that particular residence because they swarm. We see these little landing things all over the driveway, and sometimes inside your house, you see the one with the wings. It's termites.
Oh,
But
really?
they're looking for a place to build a colony. So when your house is treated, guess what? You don't have no conducive areas for them to make a colony, so they won't stay there. But when you got wood against your house, you have the moisture, you have all the conducive reasoning for them to stay, then they'll build a colony there. It's not treated, and then you have termites.
So basically, just because we have termite, it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world.
Like our bad people, oh my God, how have termites gonna falling apart? It's gonna be gone the next day. It's not that bad, right?
It's not that bad. If you look at all of the houses that's pretty much still up, the houses that's 100 years old, if you look under the house, you see termite damage.
Oh, wow.
On so many houses that our grandparents lived in, still currently living in, our parents still living in, the houses on piers. You look under the house, you see particles, beetles. You will see termites. I mean, they're like it's in the wood, So you're trying to battle nature, It doesn't mean that the house is horrible. Mold, for example. We live in Louisiana. You open your door, you're gonna get mold spores in your house.
That's right.
As soon as you walk in your house, you got mold spores on your jacket. You see all the pollen that's on our vehicles? So mold spores travel the same way as pollen.
Oh, wow.
So when you get inside your house and you say, oh, well, we have mold here. Okay, you have mold. Mold is everywhere. The thing is finding out if that mold's toxic or not. There's so much mold around us that we live in on a daily basis. So when you have a roof leak and we see mold on the ceiling, oh, there's mold on the ceiling, let's get rid of the house. No, all you got to do is fix the leak. Fix the leak is nothing to disinfect that area that has the mold on it, and you kill the spores and you're fine. You're fine. So a lot of things that people run from, a person like me who flip houses run too. You don't want that house, you don't want that deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get it. And then we totally flip the house, gut it, put a little money into it, and guess what? It's worth way more. So, from a flipping aspect is where I learned so much about inspections. And I encourage every home inspector to flip houses. Because I promise you, you're gonna learn so much by doing it hands-on yourself. Okay, we got a leak here. Oh no, but you just gotta fix the pipe.
I always tell my client that, even the flipper, right? You're looking for the house that have the worst smell, the most dirtiest, then you get the best deal.
You get the best deal.
The same thing, the buyers. So let's say when we do an inspection and the inspection report come really bad, you know what? That is an opportunity to renegotiate your price, renegotiate your standing, because after we show the seller the report, the seller will have this professional report to tell them that, hey, your house is not worth what you're asking, so we need to step back and renegotiate. So just because you have a bad inspection, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world, right, Sean?
Yes.
At the end of the world.
Yeah.
And trust somebody that's a professional. There's a lot of inspectors out there, and I know people say, "Whoa, well, my uncle Chichut, he's a handyman. He can do all the inspections. I don't need to get a home inspection." It's important that you get one because you realize you're spending sometimes $100,000, $200,000 on a home, $300, $350 for an inspection. That could be your negotiation straight. Because without an inspection, you have no negotiation power at all. I found just from an inspection report, we were able to knock $10,000 off of the price of a house based on some of the things that we found. So that's your negotiating strength right there. Why would you give that up to say, I'm going to just go all in? Have some type of negotiation there, because a lot of times sellers try to hide things.
That's right.
And we didn't see where pictures on the wall where, was hiding a hole that was there, or they painted something that was a leak. So, you want to get that done. And that way you can have something to give to your realtor to use in your defense. And I use realtors almost like an attorney.
Yes.
Because you negotiate. You look at that report and you got to get with that seller and negotiate what you're going to do for my client. In a sense. And that's why it's always important to have a solid team. You got to have realtors you can trust. You know, realtors that have been in the business for a while, they got a track record. You know, how many houses you got listing? How many houses you sold? You know, that's what you want to be able to use in this business with your biggest investment. You know, getting a new realtor off the street is okay to give them a chance, but do they have the knowledge to get you the best deal? And that's the thing that you have to decide. Same with home inspections. There's a lot of guys out there, but look at the reviews. Can you call them and talk to them? I have people that call me and say, "Hey, I just want to talk to you for a second before we even talk about the deal. You know, what is your knowledge of home inspections? What do you bring to the table? You know, there's a lot of inspection companies that got a lot of add-ons.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, with Bernard's, why you don't do changing the keys?
Yes.
There's some inspection companies that do, oh, we're gonna change the locks for you. Well, situation happened where I was trying to offer that service, but you know what? Something came up missing in that house.
Oh.
Ooh.
Right? The client moved in and something came up missing, and the first person else called, well, you the one made the keys. You changed the locks. So
Oh my
you have
God.
a key. So a lot of things is great when you do a lot of add-ons, right? But you got to be careful with some of those add-ons because you never know which one of those add-ons can bite you in the butt. By trying to do a little bit too much to beat your competitors, but a lot of that can get you caught up in court.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. You know, I refer you to a locksmith. And that locksmith can change all your locks, you know. Or I tell you what, if you buy all of them, you know, I can come change them while you're there. You know, come change the locks. But, you know, certain things I don't do as far as my competitors because I don't want that liability on my hands.
Sean, I want to talk about this. How will you recommend, like sellers that want to list their house to do pre-home inspection? How can you advise them? Because I think that pre-home inspection kind of help them for them to really know what's going on with their house before another inspector come in and start telling them the house is this or house is that.
It's very important to get a pre-inspection done. Even on my flip properties, I'll get another inspector that I trust to come look at it because I'm seeing it so much. You know, I may not be able to catch everything, and that saves me a lot of time because if that inspector can come and check all of the things and tell me what needs to be done, I can fix it before putting it on the market. And that saves so much time versus you putting the house on the market that's subpar. You get an inspection, now you got a list of things you got to fix. Now you have to try to find the money to fix all of these things, go through negotiation, and that can just cause the process to be drawn out months and months and months of the sale process. I found that more deals close faster when you have those inspections done. And, you know, you can dot your I's, cross your T's. So if you know you want to sell your house in the upcoming year, do an inspection on it. You got all of that time to fix a lot of the major things that the inspector point out. If the client brings another inspector, it might be some small little knickknacks that, you know, you won't even have to worry about doing. It can just probably be passed with negotiations, you know. But the major things can be caught in that pre-inspection before putting it on the market. And now you got all of the time to fix it. And that way, when you do put it on the market, you good. And sometimes you could even sell your house with the legal inspection report done if that inspection give them the consent. We selling the house. We had an inspection done. This is what he found. This is what we fixed. That's way more of a warranty or a bargaining aspect to say, okay, all this was called. We did this. This is what we're bringing to you. This is to prove to you that we're serious about selling this house because we was able to fix everything that was a problem. So when you come in it, you don't have to worry about it. You know, and I believe like you buying a vehicle. If you come with a vehicle and you see a mechanic that fix all of this stuff, he got documentation. It makes me more comfortable
Exactly.
in buying that vehicle or property. You know?
I think we did, you know, like now when I list the property, I usually offer the seller option for them to do pre-home inspection. And I think you did some of our own personal flip too. And I realized that when we do pre-inspection, it's like we open and honest. We have nothing to hide. And we show the buyers that, look, we did inspection and this is what's wrong and this is what we fixed. And guess what? Buying a home is expensive. You have to put deposit, you pay for appraisal, inspection, termite inspection. And believe it or not, majority of my buyers that when we enter to a contract, the house that already have pre-inspection, they don't do another inspection because it's like, okay, after they read the report from that inspector, if they go pay money another $400-$500 again, and the report is like almost the same, why would they pay more money? So actually, it's help buyers to save more money to get into the property, and it helps seller to get the deal go through smoothly, right?
That's
That's
correct.
true.
So you want to talk about that, Charles? You want to have anything add on?
Actually, I must say that we already hit all the points. If you're a seller that want to sell your house, please get your house inspected. And if you a buyer that want to buy a house, make sure you get the right team to work with you. It's just like, for example, you're getting committed to a marriage or or something that you spend all your life with. You have to make sure you do your research. You have to make sure you do your due diligence, because at the end of the day, you are the one that will be responsible. You are the one that's going to pay your mortgage. You are the one that's going to live there. You are the one that's going to be stuck with the note and the repair. So choose the right team to help you, to bring you to the closing table.
Yes. So Sean, let's just say if the buyer or the seller want to connect with you, how they do it?
Anybody that wants to connect with Bernard's Inspections, we're online. So the website is www.bernardsinspection without an S.
Bernard inspection. Okay.
Bernard'sInspection.com or Facebook. You can look me up on Facebook and Bernard's Inspection Services. Even Google me. Just go to Bernard's Inspection Services on Google and everything will pop up there on my Facebook. My number 337-654-9423. I got a song.
Yeah.
If you need a quality home inspection, just call Bernard's Inspections. The number is 337-654-9423. Well, y'all, seriously, on a serious note, just thank y'all. I appreciate the opportunity, to be with you guys. If you in the market to buy a house, I know it's been tax season. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. This is your opportunity. So many people, they have the credit score, they have the money, but they're scared to do it because people in their family are telling them, "Ooh, don't go get no house. You can't afford that." But you're paying the same amount of rent.
Yes.
Right.
Or
You paying
more.
the same or more in rent.
Right.
And you calculate the money that you've been spending on the rent the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And you realize how much money you blew away that you could have had a house.
That's right.
And you have way more options when you buy a house. People say, "Oh, what happens if you lose your job?" If you lose your job, most landlords are going to evict you. with the market you can get with the bank, they got options. You can do some where they put the loan on the back of it, you're paying on the back end of the loan. You have options. Just trust you're a real estate professional. Know what your mean is. Don't go above your head. If you approve for $200,000, don't get a $200,000 house. Don't try to get your maximum. Know what your budget is. And I always, say that when I do home buying seminars is, know what your budget, because guess what? What if somebody in your family get laid off? That household still got to be paid. So if you base all your bills on a 2-person income, what happens if somebody falls sick? So you have to always be mindful, don't compete with the Joneses. Get what you can afford to where if one person can, fall sick or something, can our bills still be paid? Can we still operate as a family? But don't be scared. And call me anytime. I'm sure Charles, now you can call them for advice. If you're not even at the process yet, your credit score is not there yet, there's people like us that can help you get where you need to be. So you know what? Maybe next year, come January, you'll be ready.
One more thing. What if this excuse? I know that a lot of renters think that the excuse, they don't want to own a home because there's too much responsibility. If they rent a house, the landlord will fix. But if they own a home, then if something happens, they have to fix it themselves. They're not ready for this responsibility. What would you advise them on that?
I mean, at the end of the day, being a homeowner opens you up to so many more options. Whether you can, get with banks, you own something now. So if you need to get a loan for a vehicle, you could do home equity. You have so many more options when you become a homeowner than you do when you just renting. And it's not that much more maintenance. You got to clean up the same way. If you're in the house or you're renting. So some people say, okay, what about the yard? Now I got to cut the grass. You can pay somebody $25 to cut the grass. There's ways of getting stuff done where it's affordable. But I always push people because the money that we waste on so many other things, we can be putting into our home and getting it back. When I got my first house when I was 24,
Wow.
that was the biggest step of my life. But I was so glad I did it because that first house allowed me to get my second house and my third house. If I would have never got my first house, I would not be where I am now. You know, so you know it's so important to say I own something for myself. You know, and you're never too young. You're never too young.
Wow.
Awesome.
All right, Bernard. Thank you so
Thank
much
you so
for
much.
Appreciate it.
Thank
coming
you.
here. So if you're thinking and wishing, make your dream come true. Call us and call Bernard, and we can make it happen.
Make it happen.
That's
yeah.
right.
Bye bye.
Bye.